Hello, internet. Back again, sculpting feet. Thinking there's a chance we're going to finish this one tonight. I want to give it a nice sort of scar or tattoo. Is it misbehaving that I need to know about? No, it's fine.
Shred's here.
Hey, Shred. Thank you. Yep, I think we're going to work on some scarification or tattoos tonight. I'm going to start off with some like raised scar area and then maybe carve some little tattoos into it if I don't like the way it looks. How is everything with you? You went to a branding part? Why is that? Why does that surprise me? It shouldn't do. Yeah. I knew somebody that did tattoo parties at one point, and it was never the tattoo artist that you would want to do tattoos for you. How's the picture and sound? I'm getting a lot of grumblings from the tech booth right now that's making me wonder.
Things are going to change on the screen. Just a sec. Work in progress.
Uh-huh. So I can see that. I can see the chat box, but there would be no way I would be able to see it.
You don't need to see that.
No, I know. But if anybody's watching on their phone, maybe it would be difficult to see. But that's what it is. There's only so much screen real estate on a tiny device.
I'm going to try putting the Spotify on.
Okay.
Shred, let me know if you hear any kind of duplicate echoing nonsense. I just want it to be on like really quiet, so at least there's some kind of noise
There's
happening when you're not talking.
some noise when I'm not talking. So we're doing the chill stream thing. That's what I'm going to call being lazy and just, sculpting instead of talking.
I couldn't find the mixer.
Mm,
I think we're good now.
we're good. Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Talk about what you're doing.
I'm just throwing a little bit of texture in while I'm thinking about stuff and how I want to go about laying out these tattoo thingies. Try. I think I'll go with the marker thing. It shouldn't get too confusing because it's going to be mostly through this area, and I don't think that that's going to interfere with any mold lines.
Is that about mold lines?
When I go to do the mold lines, I usually use the marker to lay them out at first. So if I use the marker to draw on tattoo-y stuff and then decide that I don't want to, it doesn't get completely covered or whatever, I wouldn't want to be working on the mold and then go, why is that line there? Do I need to move my mold wall? Because it can get a little confusing what you're actually doing when you've once you've started.
Mm,
Have I stopped making noise on
maybe.
chat?
Just don't make any sense.
Oh, well, we'll see. Just drawing in this Leviathan symbol. Which I think actually has a third bar. No, I can't remember. I've done this.
What are you doing?
Putting in the Leviathan symbol. And it does, no, it has 2 bars. Just 2 bars at the top. Planning a sort of mishmash of symbols. Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little bit of like kind of random symbology. Yeah, don't have any like really set plans where I'm doing stuff. Tempted to do something on the sole of the foot. Like if I was laying this out as like a character study or something, I might do the Leviathan symbol on the sole of the foot and some more innocuous stuff that would be more visible. She could be like a secret hag witch thing, but for the most part, this is going to be viewed this way up. So I think having most of the tattooing and symbol stuff up top makes sense. Okay. I could sort of hear something on like from over there. I could hear it coming out of your speakers for a while. So I think we're making noise. I know while we're figuring this out, we can introduce tonight's beverage and conveyance. We've got the Gilman full of Pepsi Cola. These guys they don't look like they would hold a full can, but it's like a full regular 12-ounce can. It fits very nicely. Got a little bit of extra room. So I guess if there were anybody that prefers like a beer but doesn't want to feel left out with their tiki buddies, this might be just the ticket. Let's give her an evil eye symbol over here on the instep. The oh, the camera's not moving anymore.
There's not sure me. It's just a still.
It's just a still, yes. It's frozen, I think. I don't know why it's showing a small camera. We seem to be having some issues with the main camera tonight.
There it is.
Okay, now we've got something.
Weird. Also, I can't believe it took me that long to notice.
I can.
I was screwing around with other stuff.
Uh-huh. Well, also, it's hard to tell with the lag, too. So let's see what... I don't know what the last thing was that was actually showing.
Nothing. I don't think it was anything.
Well, okay, I could see just a still image.
Yeah, like I think it's been still the whole time.
Has it been still the whole time?
Yeah.
I've just been doodling on some tattoo type designs. I do want to kind of make it like I'm a little bit torn on this one because there's some really lovely old like Iron Age tattoos that are very very kind of flowy all over designs that look really cool. But I sort of want to get the idea across that the tattoos on the hag's foot are there for, you know, the purposes of being magical, not looking nice. So she's just kind of done them wherever. A little bit of kind of crazy almost doodling type things. Does it seem like we're up and running still?
Yep.
Okay.
Huge. Be like barely there. So are you doodling just for the sake of doodling? Because you're not actually. Are you doing scarification or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even if I was gonna. Okay, so the plan is right now, I'm gonna add little bits of clay to sort of raise them up. And if I don't like that look, then I'll carve the tattoos in because that will make it look good with the glaze. Even though obviously tattoos don't really sink under the skin, but
Tread said she liked the eye.
Thank you.
Seeing eye.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to get that one in there. I was pretty sure I wanted to get the Leviathan symbol in there. Some text type things. I've got a some reference for alchemical symbols and things like that in front of me.
And the chat is showing on the screen.
Yep, the chat is showing.
Ooh. So anybody who's watching it on YouTube later will know what the crap you're talking about.
I mean, potentially. That's assuming that I know what the crap I'm talking about.
Doesn't matter. At least we'll all be on the same wrong page.
At least we're all on the same wrong page. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me see a bit what I can.
So I guess I should probably.
Well, you might want to stay engaged for just a minute.
Yeah.
In case it decides to go south again. I know it will be hard, but.
Some days are harder than others, and today is a day where.
Yes. So get the little wormy dealies going. See how much I can get. See how much I can get it to read nicely without obscuring too much of the fun texture. So it's always the balancing act is how much, you know, decoration you want to do before things start to get muddy overall. At least to start. I know one challenge is going to be making sure that these marks follow the skin. Apparently something is the funniest thing that ever happened. Everything's still working properly.
As far as I know.
You know, when I recommended paying attention for like a minute, I didn't literally mean a minute, right?
I mean,
You didn't know
I've got
that?
it open.
And ADHD is not controlled at all.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can do that.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
imagine. That's plenty loud enough to.
It's very distracting to listen to the stream audio and trying to listen to you at the same time.
Uh-huh. Because they're nicely delayed.
Yeah. They need to laugh again. I don't want to sit here and just wait for them to laugh.
No.
Again.
Uh-huh. No, some background sounds are our thing. We don't have like a sound booth or any of that kind of thing going. Despite the fact that we are super professional. I'm just going to start with this sort of moon phase kind of symbol. I feel like I might be annoyed by it not being quite round. Yeah, I was trying to go with the, the skin is starting to sag, so it's elongated a bit. But I may end up changing that. We'll see once it gets all blended in. I've done scars and wounds plenty of times, but I don't know if I've done this specifically with like a scarified tattoo. Scars can do very unusual things on skin as well. They tend to sort of pull and tighten at places. The other thing we have to make sure is that it doesn't look like ringworm.
Do we though?
I mean, we can have ringworm, but only if that's what you're going. Gently running over this with my my trusty little W21 Kemper. It's got a good amount of give to it for this kind of work, I find. Then stiff brush. And when I'm doing this sort of stuff on a sculpt, it's beneficial to sort of give myself time to decide on something. Like when I make a change, I may not like it immediately. It can kind of grow on you. Just kind of let it sit. So I think I may replace these with. Some kind of bar shaped little cuts. I feel like that's going to be more of a thing, maybe. In little tiny circles. I like the idea that she's, instead of having like a brand kind of thing, she's making little, like, little ritual cuts and things both. Well, she's working her hag magic. Hag magic. Magic systems can be sort of interesting in games and things where they've got to cost something, you know. Slice yourself up and sacrifice a little blood for a ritual is kind of a thing. Kind of a fun idea. Make it a little messier to the back. It's harder to keep nice, evenly spaced lines when you got to reach around to the back. Press those in good. Really make these kind of barely there, I think. Not sure what kind of hag magic this swamp witch is up to. Do you think I like kind of the haggis from Pumpkinhead sort of thing, maybe? She's not necessarily a bad witch. Per se. But she knows how to do curses and things. maybe the hag thing is more of a job title than a vocation. I think
Okay.
she's out there doing hag stuff, to, doing hag stuff to live instead of living to do hag stuff. You know. What do you think of a swamp hag with a healthy work-life balance?
Sure.
A fun idea. Try and
Yeah.
keep that in mind. Communicate that. She's got mostly ritual tattoos, and then just somewhere on the calf, like I love pickleball. Decided to go with like a little butterfly or something. I think that's a little too crystal hippie.
No.
I'll make this a nice horrible witch's foot. This time. Not gonna try and get cute with it. What's the matter now?
I got an invoice for that treadmill, but I'm pretty sure I already paid that. Wouldn't be the first time. What phone?
Pretty good. I think this one's going to be the one that sort of determines whether or not I like this.
What, the tattoo that you're working on right now?
Yeah, like if this one works out.
Can I see it?
So there's going to be a lot to be determined by kind of the density of tattoos and stuff. That makes sense. Because I can make them more subtle to where you can almost not see them if there's enough repetition. I think that's the look I'm gonna want. Hmm? Who are you?
Follow me. Supposed to unwind. Can you move your hands for a second? Okay. It was just a little soft.
two things are really taking up the time. Thought we might finish this tonight. Maybe not. Already almost an hour into the sculpting.
Yep. So you were talking about doing like a
One-off.
like a rather than just start immediately into
Yeah,
another major
for next week's sculpt.
Thursday, or well, I guess if you're gonna do one more on this guy.
Yeah, or Thursday, I suppose. Maybe we could do a I have a special project, and it's not special in the important way, special in the derogatory sense. I'm going to make it that way. Yes, it is the Earth Nation Ceramics Dirty Potter Challenge, which we've partaken in a few times, and it's always good fun. It'll be a ceramic clay sculpt instead of monster clay. I've already thrown the vessel form to go with it, which is a carafe. I guess the important thing probably is how the Dirty Potter Challenge thing works. So every couple of years, maybe, Dante, whose channel Earth Nation Ceramics on YouTube, is a really good resource for people like learning how to do pottery stuff. He does make his own glazes, and he's pretty good at explaining some of that process. But he also does some beginner and intermediate sort of tutorial things, which I personally found extremely helpful when I was learning how to throw pottery a few years ago. And every so often he will do a little, like, get outside your comfort zone box, like community challenge thing. And there's a prize of some variety. I forget what this one is. Not really important.
Glazes or what, I think.
Glazes. That sounds right. Yeah, we started with the second one, which was during his season of the weeb, and he told people to make a Pokemon themed thing, and I made an absolutely horrendous Lickitung jug type thing. With human-esque teeth. Really disturbing critter. And it was of some real amusement value watching him review that one. So we've done that Dirty Potter Challenge. The last one was ramen bowls. What up, Payne? The ramen bowls I did life cast toes. Yeah, I would have forgotten tonight was the night too. I forgot it wasn't Thursday. I knew we were streaming. I just didn't know which stream. Long day from work or just generally? Well, I guess at least it's work related, not burgeoning fascist dictatorship related. Foot's moving. I've started doing some scarring. I think when it comes to texture and things, we're getting there. We're nearly there for the texture. The bottom of the foot's gonna need some more work as well. I mean, yes, there is that. Not to mention the fact that all of the all of that sort of communication that isn't like purely operational, because that was a planning meeting. That wasn't like a um, you know, that wasn't purely an operational like targets here, we're there, drop the bombs on a certain spot. Like that's not that's meant to be heavily encrypted, but all of the rest of that stuff is supposed to be conducted in such a way that it is archived so that if you did anything, as far as I know, it was just a text thing. I don't know about showing maps and stuff, but they may have.
Real quick, what's ST?
ST? The stitches logs.
Thank
And made stupid emojis. I fully believe the stupid emojis thing. The operative mode being stupid. But yeah, that stuff is supposed to be a part of record. So that if you're doing illegal ass shit, you can have these things reviewed. And that is not what Signal is all about. Yeah, well. Yeah, it was adorable that OPSEC was mentioned, which I'm at this point genuinely not sure that's a concept that's understood. It front of the foot. Like turn it up kind of thing. Is that what we're
Yeah, she missed the beginning.
Yeah, she's getting some brandings. Yep, I'm going for like a barely there kind of thing, I think. Should we have written down not the numbers and gone with a description
Well,
instead?
it's the acronym or
Yeah.
the initials.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they are off the top of my head necessarily.
No, well, neither do I. Yep, like a scarification kind of thing. I may, depending on how I feel about these, at a certain point, I may incise a line and kind of give it a weird kind of tattoo thing. I mean, obviously, tattoos don't so much have a texture on this kind of scale. I mean, they do have a little bit of texture, but it generally wouldn't show in something like this. But the glaze really appreciates having a like a place to settle. So if these are too unclear for my taste, then I may go with a tattooy thing. But anyway, the next week we may be working on our newest Dirty Potter Challenge submission. The carafe of super elegance. This time it is to make a carafe, which is like a jug without a handle. Specifically, Mr. Chunks Goblet. I hadn't planned on a Mr. Chunks Goblet. I had planned on some fun around the pouring spout with teeth and things. Also, another thing that Dante specifically mentioned was ergonomics. So I'm thinking I've thrown the vessel already, and I'm gonna I've put some like divots where the fingers can interact with it, and I think those will look really nasty as kind of like slightly infected looking fat fold kind of things. Is my plan at this point. My wife made a face about that, so I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. I should look up bed sores for reference for it. But yeah, I was thinking just kind of make sure that the folds work around the finger divots, and then with some like careful ruddy glazing, I can make it look pretty foul. Oh, and the other fun thing that I've decided on is a lot of times, like a carafe type, the fancy pitcher things, they're um, they have a hole, like an indent at the bottom, the way like a wine bottle has. I forget what the name of that is. There's a specific term for the indent in a wine bottle's bottom. And part of the idea is that when you're like serving in a really fancy way, you can like put your fingers or like a thumb into that hole in the bottom, and it helps to like control the pouring of the drink. So I'm going to make a I'm going to give it a bottom with a functional hole, an opening, or fifth,
You're gonna give it a bottom.
maybe. Look, Dante asked for functional ergonomics, and that's what Dante gets. Make him regret asking for it. That's the
goal.
That's the goal. Yeah, hopefully we'll before we do that sculpt on stream, we will pop over to the Earth Nation Discord server and let them know that that's a thing that will be happening. Ponty, that's what it's called. Yep. Wine bottle's butthole is a Ponty. You can tell somebody's been watching too much Food Network. Yeah, it amused me. I was looking up just some sort of definition things for the for a carafe on the internets and looking up examples. A lot of them have handles. It's where they knock it off the rod during glass blowing. No, the glass blowing part of a bottle where it attaches to the blowpipe would be the end that turns into the drinky end, the pouring bit. I mean, they may have on some bottles stuck it back on, and then you could attach a thing to the bottom, but yeah, from what I've seen, some wine bottles have it where it's deeper. It's designed to be it's designed with fingering in mind. At least that's what I've read, and that's what I'm going with because that's what makes this whole project really funny. But yeah, I do think it's going to be very much a companion piece for the ramen bottles that I made for the last one. I probably won't do any cast like molded elements this time, but I do think it will be. I think I can make it particularly off-putting. You didn't see the ramen bowls? Uh, no, I think you must have done the ones with the toes and the eye. This one's a bottle. The last one was ramen bowls. The specific brief this time was for a carafe. Dealies. Which is teats. Like that guy. Yep. I mean, witch's teats apparently could have been almost anything, and or an excuse for the examiners of witchcraft to just, really thoroughly check over a woman's body. Can never be too sure. Dealies for now. Well, I guess in the Middle Ages, you really need to take your entertainment where you find it. Oh, so I have started molding fruit and commons. Hope that one will come out well. There's going to be some pretty big shifts, I think, to the fired state. There's a whole lot of like thinner glazing coats of color on that one, which doesn't show up well until the glaze has been fired. You can kind of get a sense of it while you're painting it, as well. The glaze is kind of wet. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how the color changes in the firing on that one. Ooh, cheap viewers on Streamboo. But are they cheap and slutty, or just like, what's the deal? I need to know.
Bam. You'll never know. You'll never know.
But the cheap bot. Well, you had to be quicker than that. Knurr. I think that would be how you would pronounce that. I gave him time to answer. I need to know about these cheap bots. What kind of cheap are we talking about? I mean, as long as they're doing horse stuff for money. Been disappointed all the time I've been making this for Instagram. We haven't attracted any more feet fetish bots.
Nope. We've got a bunch of like pet and pride and other stuff, but no more.
Gotten a bunch of what?
Huh?
Gotten a bunch of what?
Pets.
Pets.
Workout things and
For the feet thing?
no.
Just in general.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe the bots will come back. I miss you, bots. We can indeed hope that the bots will return. Or I mean, hey, maybe we'll get some non-bot feet aficionados. Oh, nice. Ordered Nosferatu.
They ordered a movie?
Yeah, like a DVD.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine, or a Blu-ray. 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It's been so long since we messed with physical media. My
Right?
wife no longer knows that it's a
You
thing.
paid for things?
It's not even about paying for it. You have a physical object that you have to use your hands to place inside a device like some kind of a peasant. Yeah, I think that one is going to be a good one for
It's real pretty.
for high def, good style stuff. Yeah, it's too bad we don't really attract an audience for this thing. Otherwise, we could see if there's anybody else out there still rocking CDs in a car. 12 monkeys in 4K, huh? That might be a trip. I don't remember the effects in that. Particularly. Like it's a good watch. Very quality crazy. acting, but um, yeah, I don't specifically remember the effect shots. It's
It's
been
been many, many years since I've seen that.
yeah, it's been some time. Yeah, Poor Things was an interesting movie. Ah, well, I mean, can't go wrong with a copy of 12 Monkeys. But yeah, no, I don't. Poor Things was good for sure. Don't know if it was a movie that I would probably watch like a bunch of times for the and yeah, I mean the Willem Dafoe is never not
Yes.
fun to watch. Um, Mark Ruffalo was kind of amusing, but something about the like uber stylized like overall vibe. Yeah, that was a gnarly prosthetic. It moved well too. Well, yeah, like the sets were really stylized. Um some of the sequences were like weirdly um like they were I mean cinematography was good, but I didn't like it nearly as well as like um Nosferatu had a much more cohesive look to it. Um that I found really interesting. Um I mean, I'm not going to pretend we didn't like make fun of Nosferatu the whole movie cuz cuz it's it's yeah, yeah, it's very like it's a very aesthetic film. Pretty much that's anybody that I've talked to about it has been like, well, yes, it is because of us too, but yeah, it's gorgeous, but the like obviously the plot is just it's Nosferatu. Like it's not bringing anything crazy new to the table in that sense. It's a very faithful remake of the um not as much the old silent version with Max Shrek, but the one with um I want to say Udo Kier, but it's not Udo Kier. Uh you could do.
Really?
Um uh 60s, I want to say late 60s. Nosferatu. I think it had a subtitle.
FW, no.
No,
Germany. No.
no.
Hang on.
That's
Yep,
the
yep,
30
Yep.
or 20 something.
1922.
I don't think Herzog directed it, but it's
79.
79 maybe.
Werner Herzog?
Oh, it was it was Werner Herzog that
Okay, let me just click on this because I'm just reading this. Yeah.
I mean, it totally makes sense because the guy
Vampire.
I was thinking of is the guy that played
Directed and written by Werner Herzog.
Yeah, the guy that played the Count. It's very very much like the Herzog.
Klaus Kinski.
Yeah, Klaus Kinski. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, very very much follows the plot of the Kinski version. Which, I mean, visually speaking, for me, Kinski is probably like the best vampire. Like just purely looks like a vampire kind of thing.
What's nuts in his family are vampires.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, Bill Skarsgård did a good job. That accent was a whole thing.
I can't not think of that.
I know.
Clip. I hate you.
Okay, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. If I had done it, though, come on.
You'd be very pleased with yourself?
I would be very pleased with myself. But yeah, like that accent was fully a choice. Like I know some people had a problem with the Nosferatu mustache, but that made perfect sense. Like he was dressed and styled absolutely appropriately for a sort of antiquated like Near Eastern, any of that not quite to Russia area globally. That would have been a very appropriate look with the mustache and the hair. Yeah, I still need to get around to seeing The Northman. It's another movie directed by the same guy as Nosferatu. Name escapes me at the minute because that's just how it works for me with names. Yeah.
Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers. Yeah, I enjoy Robert Eggers movies for the most part. I've only seen obviously the Vuvovich, Nosferatu, The Lighthouse.
Yep.
Not Norseman. What? You're gonna have to fill me in on what your question.
Why does that guy look familiar?
What guy?
The Robert Eggers.
Oh, I don't know. Seen him in an interview or something? I don't think I've ever. Like, as far as I know, he doesn't do front of camera work in his movies or anything.
He's got 2 upcoming werewolf.
Yep. Totally looking forward to that one.
Labyrinths.
No, Jesus God.
What?
Robert Eggers' Labyrinth?
Interesting.
Hansel
Hansel and Gretel, Telltale Heart, Brothers, The Witch.
and Gretel.
Yep. Hansel and Gretel, apparently. Oh, it was short.
Okay.
Yeah, so on IMDb, apparently it says he's got an upcoming untitled Labyrinth sequel. There's no date or anything.
I mean, that sound
No
like
David Bowie though.
it's
That might be a challenge.
you maybe, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't really done a lot of like computer generated effects. Like maybe that's what he's doing this time. They're gonna reanimate David Bowie. I cannot wrap my head around a Robert Eggers with like a musical aspect.
Confirmed.
That does not like that does not compute.
Brian Henson executive producing.
Well, I mean that wow. I mean, there was a lot of that stuff in the old Labyrinth movie. There was those Firebird puppet things that could pop their heads off and like pass stuff around.
Yep.
There was
Sarah Friend.
What?
Nothing. It's Sarah Friend.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I mean those puppets were like completely wild.
Yep. Is that your stomach?
Maybe.
Is that your stomach?
Yeah, a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
Got the rumbly and the tumbly.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I mean it was. I always preferred Dark Crystal.
Good too.
But the goblins looked really cool.
I mean the hands and
the thing. Yeah. That movie
pit thing.
Reminded me of almost like a lot of it was almost stage directed kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Like that could have almost been a play. It was much more Muppet than the Dark Crystal was.
Yeah, we can like both. We can all be friends.
Yeah, no, we can.
We could.
We could. Everybody has to choose one. You don't get to. You can't. You have one. One Jim Henson movie. That's all you get.
Dear Lord, why?
Oh yeah, it was exclusively Muppet. but the way the sets were made, Labyrinth had more of a Muppet Show or Sesame Street kind of.
Skewed for kids more, do you mean?
No, not that it was skewed for kids more, that it was like there was never a scene in the Labyrinth where you were like, but where's the puppet guy? Like where does he exist in this shot? Whereas Labyrinth, because the sets had a lot of depth in them,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it was like pretty hidden where the operators would have been. Like just visually speaking, they had a different look. That and the Muppets in Labyrinth were more straight up Muppety. Like that big furry bastard, they could have, yeah, they could have just used that in the Muppet Show, and would have fit fine.
Yeah.
Dark Crystal had those weird bug things. The Gartham, Garth.
Is he not?
Alexander Skarsgård isn't wearing pants in his IMDb pic.
No.
I don't. I don't know why he wouldn't be wearing. I have not seen it. I know it's a trip. I've seen a couple of things there's like a zombie like a Draugr fight in there somewhere.
Oh God.
Oh God, what?
Oh, okay. That's weird. So Alexander Skarsgård, he's got like the tux top
Uh-huh.
and the bow tie and the whatever, and then it's no pants. And
Okay. I mean, I'm
odd.
not gonna tell.
Well, no, it's
One
an
of
odd
those-
choice to be. Yes, I found it. The main photo they're using for this guy. Like that's
Maybe I don't know that much about. Wait, which one is that one? Do I?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know him from anything,
Alexander
honestly.
Skarsgård?
Yeah, that doesn't
You
help
know,
as
that
much as
doesn't help
you'd
you.
think. Because it's one of those like maybe he doesn't wear pants in a lot of movies. I don't know. Like he could do a lot
I
of.
don't think so.
He could do most of his movies with no pants. You just didn't notice because he's mostly shot like waist up. He just never wears pants.
He was in an episode of Drunk History
Okay.
and an episode of What We Do in the Shadows. Just credited as a vampire.
Cool. Typecast, you mean?
Maybe a bit, yeah. He apparently was in the music video for Lady Gaga's Paparazzi.
Okay.
Did that help?
No, weirdly no. Has he been in other horror movies?
Oh, okay.
I think I literally have not watched a non-horror movie or riff tracks thing in all of the some time.
Okay, I don't. So he was in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Didn't see that one.
He was in The Stand, which is a TV miniseries,
That
which you might have watched.
I think
I'll
I
have to
may have
watch
watched part of that with you. Like there was the old one that I never could I could never get through
that. Yeah.
the first like it
Yeah, not the old one.
it felt like it was absolutely interminable. Like I don't
You should
I
have read the
just
book.
I remember describing the scene. It was
Mhm.
like I couldn't the one with the chick from the
The
Babysitter's
Hughes.
Cup breast bit
Howard Hughes? No. John Hughes? No.
I don't know.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Sweet 16 or 16 Candles and stuff.
Maybe Breakfast Club
Yeah.
is the one I'm thinking. I think she got like red hair or whatever,
Yeah.
but like
Um,
I remember saying, "Oh, there's that
John
bit
Hughes.
where she's just like
Molly Ringwald.
talking to
Yeah.
her dad, and what I never got past that part." And you're like, "That's
Larry, you
10."
ain't no nice guy.
Yeah, and you're like, "That's 10 minutes in."
You ain't no nice guy, Larry.
But yeah, it feels interminable. I'm telling you, that movie dragged so hard.
But it was was it a movie? Or
It was like a TV
miniseries?
movie miniseries
Yeah.
thing.
I
Like
mean,
I
they
knew
do
it.
that.
I knew I
Quite a
was in
lot.
for
Yeah.
like. Okay, now you guys are just quoting this thing that I don't know.
Yes. Bumpty bumpty bump.
But yeah, like no,
Piss scores if I could. Do you believe that, Happy Krabby?
I couldn't. I could not with that thing. I got almost nowhere into that film, and I know I couldn't do. I mean, I'm not a huge Stephen King fan.
MOON. That spells moon.
Hell, I'm actually probably just generally not a Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
Like I've liked a couple of things. Some of it, the like the movies were a thing. Some of it, didn't they all have Rob Lowe or Gary Sinise?
What are you talking about?
Jen was saying the movie had
Well, what are we talking about?
all the
Stephen
Stephen King TV movie things. Like one of those, I don't know. There were a couple of actors, I swear, were in like freaking all of them. And you knew it was going to be a slog when they showed up. Because I can remember watching some of those, because I mean they're horror things, right? And I was into horror movies and stuff, so I tried when they did the thing. The 94 one.
What?
There was a 1994 version of the
Is that not what we were talking about?
Stand. Maybe? I don't know. I've lost track. But if that was the one with Molly Ringwald in it,
The Stand? No. Yeah, The Stand was 1994, and yes, that was the one with Molly Ringwald.
then yeah, that was the one that it was like, no, I can't with this. And apparently I only got like 10 minutes in. But I tried like twice or 3 times. But I watched the Haunted House one. What was that called? Rose Red. That wasn't so bad.
Also a miniseries, though.
Yeah, well, I know it was a miniseries, but it somehow didn't drag as hard.
Okay.
I feel like it would have been an absolute slog if it weren't for Tim Curry. The miniseries version of it.
Oh, it? Okay, I'm like, he was in Rose Red? I'm so confused.
No, yes. No, the film it, not the concept,
okay.
not the grammatical construction.
I was like, I don't remember him from Rose Red.
He should have been in it.
Maybe. He's great in everything, so there's that.
Yeah, Tim Curry should have been required to be in most films.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Like you have to pay him either way.
What?
Like you
Who was talking about not paying him?
no, like if you want to if you want to make a movie,
Yeah.
you gotta pay Tim Curry either way, so you might as well have him in there.
Oh.
If you're willing to pay for it and it really doesn't make sense, then that's your choice, I guess. But he's the default setting for films. Makes the movie. Yeah, I want it to be basically Tim Curry is the default for a movie.
Would be better.
Yep. But yeah, if you haven't seen The Lighthouse, that one was good fun. And it's got Willem Dafoe
yes. Charles Dance is great too.
and either I can never keep those two straight.
Robert Pattinson.
That
Are we
helps.
talking about Lighthouse?
Yes, that helps me less than you'd think. It's
wanted to
he's
know
either
who it
Harry
was.
Potter or the
Oh.
vampire kid.
Vampire Kid.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
He's the wizard or vampire?
Yeah, wizard
Vampire.
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 Yeah, I don't know. As far for whatever reason, those two are like the same actor for me.
Robert Pattinson was in Harry Potter.
What?
Was he?
Wait, probably, maybe. Wait. Okay.
Are we just gonna make this more confusing?
I don't mean in Harry Potter.
The Harry Potter.
The one that is
Wasn't he the
Harry
kid that
Potter.
died? I don't think so. Hang on.
Whichever one. One of them is a vampire and one of them is literally Harry
I
Potter.
could be wrong. I haven't seen those movies in a long time either. It stay that way.
No, one of them was literally Harry Potter. I know there are two. Intellectually, I know there are two of them, but unless you like put them together,
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Cedric Diggory. Yep.
but yeah, like unless they're physically together, I suppose I could probably tell the difference, but I can't keep it
They
straight.
don't even look alike at all.
They have to look like a little,
They don't.
right?
No, they don't.
They
They don't. Not yeah. Jen agrees with me.
okay, but then why can I completely not tell them apart if they look completely different?
I don't know what's
They can't look completely different.
They can.
They must be at least okay.
Yeah.
Generic looking guy with brown hair and hell, one of them was Batman. I still have not seen that Batman. They play similar emo juveniles. Yeah, that might be it.
They do that.
I mean, yeah, I suppose that that might be it.
Okay. So it's 10 o'clock by the way, but this is Robert Pattinson.
Oh, I thought you were showing me both. I'm like, yeah, they look exactly
No,
the same.
this is Robert Pattinson.
Okay. He looks like Robert Smith's
And this
hair.
is Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay, that one has a beard.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Is that how? That's not the only difference.
Okay, now he looks
I thought
like
you were better at this.
now he looks like that guy from that TV show you've been watching
Which?
with Eugene Levy. He doesn't look like Eugene Levy, but
Wow. The boyfriend? That? Who?
the one that lives at the hotel. They all live at the
Dan
hotel.
Levy?
Maybe.
Eugene Levy's son.
I believe that.
I thought you were better at this.
They look They look about the same.
Yeah, that is Eugene Levy's son, yes. We've been watching Schitt's Creek. It's funny. But anyway, yeah, I thought you prided yourself on like
What? No.
knowing bodies and the differences between shit and
Well, yeah,
physical nonsense.
I
You
could do
can't
that.
tell the difference between Robert Pattinson,
Okay, I think
Dan Levy, and Daniel Radcliffe.
I suspect that what happens is
If you weren't white, I would say that's racist.
I suspect that there's something very generic about them.
He is very bad at this.
And they refuse, like my brain refuses to hold on to these people
They're not, though.
for any period of time. So as soon as you take the other picture away and you put the new one up, it's like
Okay.
side by side, they're probably different. I mean, I'm also looking at him at a skewed angle. Does he have the butt chin? I can't tell from
He
here.
does, yes.
Does the other one have a butt chin? That one looks like the face might be slightly more angular.
Very much more angular.
What?
Angular.
Okay, from
Angular.
here he just looks the other. He just
is
looks like the
actually
other one if he's not been feeling well. Okay,
Good God.
it's 10 o'clock.
It is
We've
10 o'clock.
decided that I can't
Have
tell
we
the difference
embarrassed you enough
between.
yet?
I can't tell the difference between generic brunette actors.
Okay.
Have fun. Have fun with that knowledge that I can't tell the difference between generic.
I mean, werewolves.
Brunette.
Yeah, I guess.
What? Who's a werewolf? What? Oh,
Night pain.
night.